Some people think quiet people are socially awkward, but the truth is, most quiet people are only quiet in places where they don't feel seen. Watch them around the wrong crowd, and they barely say a word. Watch them around the right people, and suddenly they become the funniest person in the room. Loud, expressive, completely different. That's because silence is not always personality. Sometimes it's protection. Psychology shows that people naturally change depending on the emotional safety of their environment. Human beings are not the same in every room. Some environments unlock you, others slowly shut you down. And quiet people feel that difference immediately. They notice fake energy faster than most people. Forced conversations, people pretending to listen, attention-seeking behavior disguised as confidence. The moment the vibe feels off, they mentally disconnect. Not because they're weak, but because they refuse to perform just to fit in. That's why they observe more than they speak. While everyone else is trying to be noticed, they're watching everything. Who interrupts people? Who talks only about themselves? Who changes personalities depending on who's around? Quiet people study energy before they trust it. And honestly, most people fail that test. Psychologists call this social filtering. Some people subconsciously filter where they invest their words, emotions, and attention. Their brain constantly asks, do I feel safe here? Do these people actually care? Can I relax around them? And if the answer is no, they become silent. But the scary part is, people misunderstand that silence all the time. They call them shy, cold, boring, arrogant, too serious, when in reality they're simply uncomfortable being fake. Because quiet people usually hate forced connection. They won't fake laughter for approval. They won't talk just to avoid silence. And they definitely won't change their personality just to make strangers comfortable. That's why they seem distant in public, but completely different in private. Around people they trust, something changes. Their guard drops. Their real personality appears. They become talkative, funny, emotional, sometimes even chaotic. And that's when people say things like, wait, you talk this much? But that version of them was always there. You just met the protected version first. And most people never realize how much past experiences shape silence. A lot of quiet people were not born quiet. They became quiet after being ignored too many times, interrupted too many times, judged too many times. They learned that speaking doesn't always create connection. Sometimes it just creates disappointment. So eventually, they stop forcing themselves into conversations where they feel invisible. Not out of insecurity, out of self-respect. There's also another reason quiet people pull back from certain environments: energy. Some people leave conversations feeling energized. Quiet people often leave bad conversations feeling drained. They absorb tension, negativity, fake behavior, emotional chaos. Small talk exhausts them. Loud rooms overwhelm them. Meaningless conversations feel heavy. So instead of constantly talking, they protect their mental energy. And honestly, that makes them more self-aware than most people. Because the older you get, the more you realize not every environment deserves access to you. Not every person deserves the deepest version of you. Quiet people understand that naturally. That's why they take longer to open up. They don't trust instantly. They reveal themselves in layers. First, they observe you. Then they study your intentions. Then they decide whether your energy feels safe enough for authenticity. And if it doesn't, you'll only meet the quiet version of them. But here's what most people never notice. Quiet people are usually the ones thinking the deepest. While everyone else reacts emotionally, they analyze. While everyone else talks endlessly, they listen carefully. And because they spend more time observing than speaking, when they finally say something, it usually means something. Their words carry weight because they don't waste them. And maybe that's why silence scares people so much. Silence forces honesty. It exposes fake chemistry. It reveals uncomfortable energy. Most people use constant talking to escape awkwardness. Quiet people are comfortable sitting inside it. Because to them, silence is not empty. It's information. And the hardest truth for some people to accept is this: Quiet people don't need everyone to like them. They would rather be understood deeply by a few people than perform a fake version of themselves for the approval of everyone else. That kind of authenticity is rare now, especially in a world where everyone is trying to be seen. So the next time someone says, "You don't talk much," understand what they might actually mean is, you haven't felt safe enough here to be yourself yet. Because some people are not quiet everywhere. They're only quiet in places where their soul doesn't feel welcome.